Yo, Thought Warriors. What is up? Higher Learning is on as I, Lathan Jr.
And it's me, Rachel and Lindsay.
I have a question before we start. This was a question that was asked, and I wanted to know what you thought. Who's more famous? Actually, I have two questions. I'm going to start with the first one. Who's more famous, Michael Jackson or Mickey Mouse?
Ooh.
This was the topic of discussion at a party that I was at on Saturday.
I missed that conversation.
Yeah, it was late into the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is really hard.
Who's more famous?
But
Michael Jackson
came first. Mickey came first.
Yeah.
So technically, Mickey's been famous longer. Like, because the fame is equal, right? Like, they're so equally known, obviously for different reasons in their own right. But I'm gonna say Mickey because Mickey's been around longer, because of Disney itself, because of its international presence. And that's hard for me because we know how I feel about Michael. And I'm not saying Michael doesn't have all these things, but I think a Mickey Mouse figure with the Disney ties will never lose its steam. It'll never fade.
So I think it's Mickey.
Okay,
but
all right.
There were people there that night making impassionate, direct arguments that it's Michael. We were having a conversation.
I would love for it to be Michael, and I understand the passion.
Donnie, who's more famous, Michael Jackson or Mickey Mouse?
It's definitely Mickey, but I get somebody making the Michael argument, but it's Mickey.
Isn't it interesting that Michael Jackson is close to Mickey Mouse in terms of fame? Is there anybody else? Is there another human being besides the Christ child?
I was going to say.
That would be right there with Mickey Mouse. Is there anybody else?
No.
It's tough.
No.
Michael Jackson and Mickey Mouse. I want the audience to think about this. Who is more famous, Michael Jackson or Mickey Mouse? Answer the question.
And because that's the thing, this is why I get mad when people try to make Michael Jackson comparisons. You can't. There's nobody else. I don't like when people try to compare talent or he's this generation's Michael Jackson. No, just the point that you just made right there is why you can never have those arguments.
You can compare.
He is Michael. He is Michael.
You can compare it. So you don't have to compare Michael Jackson to somebody. You don't have to compare every aspect of Michael Jackson to someone. Just because Michael Jackson, like for example, Mickey Mouse is more famous than anybody else, right? Is Mickey Mouse as funny as Bugs Bunny? No. So you can say just because. So I'm saying you can still compare Mickey Mouse to other people. You can compare Michael Jackson. So right now,
you can, but it's silly.
Why?
You can.
If I was to say that Luther Vandross sings better than Michael Jackson, it's just a fact. It's a comparison. It's a fact. Doesn't matter how famous he is. Avery Wilson sings better than Michael Jackson. Facts.
It's different.
Ian.
Like when people are comparing them, they're trying to say like he's this. When you say he's this generation's Michael Jackson, come on now.
That's different than comparison.
Come on. Okay, fine. Semantics. You know what I mean when I say this. What's your second question?
This is the second question. Okay, I want to have a quick 4-question run about whether or not it's still gentlemanly to do these things.
Whether it's gentlemanly. Okay.
Is it gentlemanly too? Because we're talking about the levels and the limits of chivalry. Okay. This is to you, Rachel Lindsay, woman about town.
I don't like the way that
woman,
sounds.
Put that under Rachel.
No, do not.
Rachel Lindsay, woman about town. You know what's going on. Is it still gentlemanly to do these things? A, help a woman back into a parking spot. You see a woman backing into a parking spot.
Standing behind her and directing her or getting actually behind the wheel?
So not getting behind the wheel. Like if my dad saw anyone, particularly a woman, backing into a parking spot, he'd be like, okay, come on, you got it.
I think that's sweet when anybody does that.
So yes, that's gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Calling a woman ma'am.
I'm from the South, so I'm always going to be defer to that.
That's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Still gentlemanly to call a woman ma'am.
Yeah, and then people can correct you if they want. People say ma'am, I'm like, don't call me ma'am. But I get it because I'm from the South. I understand the respect that comes with that.
But it's a gentlemanly thing to do.
Sure.
To call a woman ma'am.
Sure.
Okay. Compliment a random woman from your car.
Wait. How are we doing it?
Okay.
Is it a yell? Is it a cat call? Or is it a Can you roll down your window for a second? I just wanted to tell you that I think
this is what the
levels.
men in my family, I used to see them do. Shout out to my Uncle Craig. Uncle Craig, I'm not trying to get you in. Actually, shout out to my Uncle Craig. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. My Uncle Craig would see a woman and he would be like, wow, that's a nice car. It's like, you look very nice. He would say something and you would see the woman. These are good looking men that raised me. You would see the woman smile and whatever.
Yeah, the way you just presented it, beautiful.
And my Uncle Craig would be like, it's always important to be nice to girls. He's like, be nice to girls, son.
Who could have a problem with that?
Okay.
Yes, that's gentlemanly.
All right. Some people say maybe not. Okay.
What's wrong
Last
with people?
one. Helping a woman with her squat form.
We took a leap.
Wait, I'm saying that is.
How are you helping me? Are you in? Because again, there's a difference. Are you instructing me and standing in front of me and saying, hey, you want to make sure you push out more from the butt? You want to like straighten your back? Like, is that what you're saying? Or are you behind me, showing me?
So this is what we do. We're going to assume we're going to assume. We're going to assume that all of this stuff is being done in the right way, right? Because there's a way that you could compliment the one on the street. Nice ass, bitch. Just like the way one of the ladies.
Damn, I feel like you want to get that out.
Nah, let me tell you why. Because one of the ladies working at Spotify said the funniest thing. She was like, because I asked this question and she was like, really, the older I get, anything that a man says to me that isn't nice ass, bitch, I take it like I appreciate.
Damn, the bar is low. The bar is low.
Helping a woman with a squat form, gentlemanly or not.
It's a no.
That's a no.
That's a no.
So if you see a woman working out and she's doing the squat in the wrong way, let her fuck her back up because you could be looked at as a non-gentleman.
As a creep?
As a creep. I'm asking because I see guys do this and I'm like, God damn, he bold. One dude I saw in the gym, he literally went, and this guy is a G. You guys ever see guys in the gym that are like super Gs?
Yeah.
There's one guy in the gym that when he squats, he also does like tactical training. Like he squats, and then between squats, I see him walking around in a squat next to the squat rack going like this.
No.
And then popping up and then going like this. And snaking and doing things. I also see him between sets of the squat rack, like getting off the ball. Like he's like an offensive lineman.
I don't like that.
But I saw him help somebody with her squats, and he went, "Hi, can I just tell you one thing that might make that movement more efficient?" And I was like, God damn, this nigga the man. And I watched him, and he walked over and he grabbed the squat bar, and it was so light to him that he picked that bitch up like.
What's she look like?
What you mean?
Was she pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to help.
already looking at her.
He was already
looking at her. Wouldn't say it might be nice. It's okay, polite, but it feels like there's an ulterior motive there. I don't think that's gentlemanly. But all the other stuff, yes. Manners, being polite, complimenting each other. That's beautiful.
But these are things, the reason why I put them is because like you could easily say, hey, is this still a gentleman, like play for a woman's dinner and all of this stuff like that? Everybody's gonna say yes to that because but these are all things that at one point it was customary to do for guys that were wanting to be gentlemen. That now you could make the argument that some people look at this stuff as like patronizing.
Man, if we live in a society where it's to compliment a woman is looked at as problematic, we have real problems.
Rachel, I don't know if you know, but we have real problems.
Well, I know we have problems, but like, I'm sorry. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm going to take it. If any man gives me a compliment, I take it, I receive it, I'm grateful for it. I'm not comfortable accepting compliments, but I will make sure that I acknowledge it because I really appreciate somebody saying something, taking time to acknowledge me. I'm sorry. I think that's a beautiful thing. And that's a personal issue if you can't accept that.
We're going to help Rachel accept compliments better.
I'm not good at accepting.
I feel like you're right not. Now.
Don't do it.
Your forehead looks great today.
I don't believe you.
It does.
Why? It's extra shiny?
It's prominent and smooth.
I can't stand you.
And it's ready for the world.
That's
You've
Botox.
walked out into the world today, mind first. And I like that.
See what I'm saying?
What?
I might have to take everything I said back. See, that was a backhanded compliment.
It wasn't at all. Like, if you told me that, if you looked at me one day.
Who tells anybody they step into the world mind first? Go ahead, laugh out loud, Bernard. Has anybody ever said, you step into the world mind first?
So, it's not a diss. That's not a diss. It looks like
I want to do a poll. It looks like what? I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot to think about.
That's not what I said. I said it looks like you're leading from the front.
See what I'm saying?
It's good.
Now, luckily, I've heard them all.
Yeah.
No. But gosh.
This all leads into...
Those questions make me sad. If they're... Other than the squats, that makes me sad.
That happened
Truly.
Because earlier today, I saw a tweet from my man, Me We Free, on Twitter, and he said, what kind of tattoos do you think a woman has if you see her backing into a parking spot? I was like, what an interesting question. But then my mind thought, if you see a lady backing into a parking spot, and is it still okay to be like, hey, straighten up, cut the wheel, yeah, you're good, little tight right there, cut the wheel, because I would see men do that all the time. Or does that look like you're telling her how to drive now?
I mean, it is you're telling, but the intention is to help.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. I'm just not a big person who's like, don't tell me what to do. That's just also not my mentality.
Right.
But I do know people like that. Women like that. I do.
Should we put Jason Derulo in the show at the last minute or no? We don't have to.
You just walked him in.
I know. I just think that's interesting.
Why is this interesting to you? Because to me, this is a particular thing related to him, so I understand his reaction to it.
Donnie, play the Jason Derulo clip real quick. He was on with Grant Bessinger.
There was a lawsuit not too long ago by an artist that was like hired to your label that was dismissed.
Twice.
What did you learn going through that?
Never work with women.
Oh, come on.
There's truth in every joke. But it's a sad truth. Like, I will never be alone in a room with a woman that I work with, like ever again.
Why?
It's too risky. That case was dismissed twice in two different states. And there's hardly no mention of it online.
Okay, so Jason Derulo was accused of harassment by, there was a group that, I don't know if you remember them, but there was a group called Sorority.
Oh, it was one of them?
It was one of those ladies, yeah. It was a group called Sorority. So there were three of them. They were sisters.
Right.
I actually had them on my old podcast.
Oh, all three?
No, it was two.
Because I know the third one kind of went off, disappeared. They were...
Well, I think two of the ladies ended up going... There were three sisters.
Right.
The first one left.
Right.
And then there was another one that left, and she like moved to another country.
There was like drama behind it. Like they were like trying to find her, like concerned about her. I remember this.
But the one of them is Imanza Dilan.
Okay.
Is the sister's name. I want to make sure I say her name.
Okay.
And she has sued Jason Derulo for sexual harassment a couple of times.
Okay.
And so in response to this, Jason Derulo says that he would never work with, he says, don't work with women. And then he said he would never be in a room with a woman. You heard what he said. Your thoughts on that?
I think that he's saying something that's particular to him. So this is why, like, I didn't really think as much or take it to heart or think too long on what it was that he was saying, because he says that he was sued not once but twice by this individual. It was like the lawsuit was dropped, she
dismissed twice, and I think that it's been refiled. I read somewhere it's been refiled after this interview.
And this isn't me I haven't read the lawsuit. I'm not familiar with all the accusations, but he is maintaining his innocence. I'm not choosing a side either way. But if he believes that he's innocent and that's what he's standing by, and he's saying it's been dismissed twice, and I guess he's saying that he put himself in a situation where he was alone with her, which gave the freedom, I guess, for her to accuse him of certain things. Mm-hmm. He is now saying that he no longer wants to put himself in those situations. I would think that if I was accused of something that I am saying I did not do, I would want to protect myself from being in that situation again. You know, if Jason Derulo was saying, hey, none of you guys should work with women and this is why, because this happened to me, I would have a completely different opinion. But he's making it particular to his situation that this happened to me. I lost a lot of money in legal fees. The allegations are not true and I do not want to go through this again. Right. I think that makes sense.
Okay, so it says here, days after this interview was recorded, which was recorded some time ago, the sexual harassment suit was refiled. This is from a couple of months ago. This is coming out now because the interview was recorded a couple of months ago, but the case has been refiled after the interview took place. So not recently now, but recently as it relates to the interview was refiled in New York. I don't like this.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't like it because I don't understand it. It's not, that's not the reason why. I do get it. I go, look, why put yourself in a position, if you're Jason Derulo, you're thinking the way to insulate myself from this is to not put myself in a position where this could happen to me again. And that's a good rule of thumb for a lot of things in life, right?
Yep.
Except in interpersonal relationships, both public, private, work, and non-work. That's the only time. Like if there's a certain party that you go to, like what happened with the family and the games. Your dad was like, no more going to the games because they're shooting, right? See,
you just wanted to put that in there because you didn't feel people paid attention to it enough in the last episode.
So what I'm saying is this. If there's a certain place that you hang out and you go there to hang out and you're like, this is not the place I should be hanging out, I get it. If there's a certain, I don't know, a type of way that you move, I don't want to put myself in this position anymore, certain activity or whatever. People are different. To me, it's always important to self-analyze when it comes to interpersonal relationships, right? Like Jason Derulo saying, I'll never work with a woman again, obviously honestly, shall I say, it's pretty destructive. It's pretty destructive because, I'll never work with women, or then saying I'll never be alone with a woman. Okay, so then there's a woman that wants to record or something like that with Jason Derulo. Now Jason Derulo has to get somebody else to be in a room. Yeah. And if he can't get somebody else to be in a room, if that's not available, then Jason Derulo doesn't do it. Yeah. Now Jason Derulo has to say, what he has to do now is whenever he works with a woman, there have to be extra steps that are taken to make sure that he's protected. Whether or not he knows it or not, that makes it harder for the women to work with guys like Jason Derulo. It makes it harder for women or anybody else in any industry
That's true.
that would want to work with him. The question that I would be looking at, and maybe this is not a fair question to him, is what could I do? Like, how could I behave? How could I comport myself in a way that ensures that no one can misconstrue what it is that I'm doing? And to me, whenever you're in a situation like that, that is the way that you should look at that. Now, if we're having a conversation where we say it is impossible to comport yourself in a way, or that women in this industry are so predatory that they are always looking for a reason to levy a complaint against you or an accusation, that's pretty cynical. And I would say that I kind of don't agree with that. Not kind of don't agree with it. I definitely don't agree with it.
It is cynical, but I think this is an extreme situation. If based on what he is saying, right? I'm not saying I believe him, I believe her, whatever. But if I had been sued this way and I am saying I am innocent, I am doing everything that I can to protect myself. If that means bringing in bunch of men, if that means setting up cameras, if that means recording every situation, I need to do what I need to do to protect myself.
The setting up of the cameras is interesting because I'm not against that.
Mm-hmm.
The setting up of the cameras, hey, these cameras are running full time. Everybody's going to see our studio sessions. Now people not going to like to do that because you ever been in the studio, sometimes you get a little, what I'm saying? You in the studio, your homies come over, you in the studio.
What you know about that?
What you know about that? We in that bitch. We hitting that, that Tutankhamun. Like we're doing the whole things. We in the studio, baby. We in the stew.
Not baby, we in the studio.
We in the stew, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the stew. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes what goes on in the stew is stay in the stew. We get turned up.
We got somebody in who could actually come in that can actually talk about that.
I know what's going on in the stew. But I'm saying the cameras and all of that stuff, that's fine. Taking different, that could get crazy too, but taking different precautionary, I guess, taking different precautions, it's fine. That's fine. Taking precautionary action is fine. But blanketly putting your situation on any women that might want to work with you, and saying that you're either not going to work with women or you're going to only work with women in certain conditions, makes it harder for women to work with guys like Jason Derulo, and that type of attitude is contagious. I understand what he's saying and why he feels that way, but I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
And maybe I'm feeling a certain way because it's Jason Derulo and not like Jay-Z saying it. Maybe I would, because I say it because Jay-Z has more impact and influence, I believe, than Jason Derulo. So maybe I would feel more like what you're saying. I just don't think it's especially particular to his situation, I don't think it's going to be that influential of an idea. And I even think about like the Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. If after the Me Too movement, as it moved through different industries and it eventually hit music, if people were saying, I'm not working with women anymore because I don't want to be accused, that's something that is more influential and impactful and problematic.
That's what's happening.
It's just Jason Derulo. I don't think it's that impactful. Sorry if that sounds like dig.
It doesn't sound like a dig. It sounds like but
it's like you didn't hear like moguls who were getting in trouble saying, or even who had not been in trouble.
They definitely said that, number one.
But they're not working with women.
Some of them
Who said that they are not working with women anymore?
So what you definitely heard as a byproduct of the Me Too movement was that, it's just not safe to hire women anymore. It's just not safe to hire women.
But did they do that?
Well, a lot of those guys got kicked out to the fucking curb.
I can understand.
But what I'm saying is a lot of people said that. And I think that is the wrong lesson to take away from.
No, I agree. And I think that I agree with you in that. And I don't think that I think people got scared, and I understand the fear. I don't have a problem with people taking precautions. So I remember when stuff was coming out, when I was with my ex, I was like, you're in an office alone with sometimes just women. You might need to have precautions in there because you don't know if like someone's going to say they accuse you of you're a chiropractor, touching them the wrong way or doing something. Like you just need to do that for them and for you. I think it can go both ways. Like if there were cameras in there, you can't accuse me necessarily of doing something if you're recording a session, audio, video, both. I don't really think the precautions are that big of a deal, but I understand your sentiment. Yeah. If what Jason Derulo says catches on, super problematic. I just don't think it's that influential.
We have an LA rapper that I've known for a while. How you feel about being called an LA rapper?
I don't take no offense to it.
What does LA rapper mean when you hear Nana's in the house, by the way? Give it up for Nana, everybody. Nana. Shout out to Nick May, my man. Me and Nana met some years ago. A lot of times Nick, so this is what I'll say about Nick May, my guy. So everybody that Nick knows is the most talented person that's doing whatever they're doing. So when Nick introduces you to somebody, he's like, he's a writer. Craziest writer you ever heard before. I'd be like, all right, bro. Hey, bro, you ever seen this nigga dance? Nigga, the craziest dancer. So when Nick told me that you were such a great rapper, at first I didn't want to believe it. I was hating on you, bro.
You was hating? Why was you hating on me?
Because Nick said it. You know how me and Nick are. So me and Nick love to argue, and then I listen to it. I'm like, damn, the nigga is nice, man. What the fuck is going on?
You do have to take everything that Nick say with a grain of salt. But
why? Not Nicholas.
Nick is a contrarian.
I know he is. No, I know he is. But I love me some Nicholas.
He likes to get the people going. I love Nick though. Yeah.
But LA rapper, what does it mean? What does that mean, LA rapper?
I mean, I don't take no offense to it. I honestly I love this. This is where I'm from, Los Angeles. LA is one of those places that it's like a franchise. It's like Los Angeles Lakers. It's a lot that comes with being
Identity,
absolutely. So I wear it very proudly, you know, South Central Los Angeles. Yes, sir. South of the 10 freeway.
South of the 10 freeway.
South
What's
of
the
10
difference?
freeway.
Because I said something, I remember I was on Vlad one time, and Vlad, been on Vlad a bunch of times, man. Been doing Vlad for a long time. I was on Vlad one time, and Vlad said that he said that what he learned about LA when he moved to LA was that there was a bunch of people in LA that would say that they would do stuff, being Hollywood. They would say that they would do stuff, and then they would never do it. Like you don't see these people again. They don't follow through with what that they would say. They would say that they would do. I remember I told Vlad, I was like, well, that's because the people that you are meeting, what people consider to be Hollywood, they are from a specific place in Los Angeles. And I think a lot of people confuse the Hollywood portions of LA that they think are LA, which is West Hollywood, Santa Monica, all of that stuff, with how actual people live in the community, the anchored communities of Los Angeles. So when people say that people are Hollywood, that the LA is this, do you feel like they have any idea of the culture south of the 10, like where you're from?
No, like I really loved when Kendrick was like, don't say you hate LA and never travel past the 10, you know, because a lot of people be like, oh, LA is whack, LA got whack food, the culture is whack, but like, where did you go? Santa Monica. You know, that's nowhere near where the true essence of where you would find like the heart and soul of LA. Lamar Park, you know, it's like one of the most prestigious, like, you know, black areas in the world. You know, everybody goes to Lamar Park, you know. Yeah, to me, I'm always like, who are you, you know, connecting with when you get out here? And it's always, no offense, but it's always like people that are not from Los Angeles.
Right.
The transplants. And it's like, yo, connect with the real folks. Inglewood is so beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Like Los Angeles is really beautiful, especially when you have somebody that's from the land to like actually show you where everything is at, show you where to get the bomb food. Everybody, for whatever reason, they think our food is terrible. Granted, we don't have as much diversity as a New York, you know, might have, but you know, we got some spots for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I need. I need somebody from LA to show me around.
Yeah.
I've only been here 5 years though.
Oh,
so I'm not that.
That's long enough.
That's long enough.
Is it fair? Wait a minute. Is it fair that I moved during COVID?
It is. That's the big part of it.
So
right.
I moved to here in 2020.
Okay. Fair.
So
that's fair.
It's like I've been here for 2 years.
Yeah, even because for 3 years shit wasn't right.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
still actually not quite back.
Yeah,
right.
people always love to tell me I don't know LA.
Right.
For people who are listening, if this is the first interview that they've heard about you, they're meeting you, what would you want them to know about you?
That I am someone that's very big on, as cliche as it may sound, self-belief. You know, self-belief, especially in this age of the internet where you may see things, see other people's lives and start to compare it to yours and, you know, knock you off your square. But believing in yourself and me believing in myself, I feel like is what got me to the point and where I am right now. And, you know, society is so many variables and factors, especially in the space that we're kind of all in, you know, that can strip you of your confidence, strip you of who you may know you are, and the world will make you believe that you're not that person. But yeah, self-belief, I'm very big on that, and that's what I feel like I represent most in my music and who I am, and the people that I feel like I represent. So
that seemed like that would be hard to have for a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it seems to me that like rap, I'm just gonna be real with you. Most of the rappers that I know that I really enjoy listening to their music, they're not popular. Most of the people that I think are making great, introspective, sticky rap music,
right?
Like they're not the guys that are really blowing up. I'm not saying that the other music is bad.
Right.
I'm saying that the other music is catchy and digestible.
Right.
But a lot of the good music is being made by people who don't seem like they have a really strong push.
Right.
It seems like people want to figure out how the people with talent, become the people with audience,
Right.
rather than bringing the people with audience to the people with talent.
Absolutely.
Which is a really interesting space
That's
for
a
hip hop
good
to
point.
be in.
Right.
So how do you stay yourself when they want you to rap like somebody else?
Right. I look at like, I feel like the tide has turned like so much, like crazy in 2025, especially to where it's like, it is unfortunate that there is no, I think there were like, this is the first time in 30 some years that, a rap song wasn't in the Billboard top 100 or 200 or something like that. But when you look at artists like Freddie Gibbs, who might not be, the most successfully, commercial rapper, but still has his audience and his fan base that will show up, and be in a code to come to a show, and, he's getting Grammy nominations.
It's just great. It's just fantastic music.
It's just great music. Even with the clips, I feel like that was
great music.
It was great music, and as we all seen,
Killer Mike,
absolutely,
great music,
absolutely.
So you really think it's turning? Because I really think this is interesting, because I see, it seems like companies and labels are pushing TikTok sounds and trying to go viral in that way, and that's what makes people popular, as opposed to the true talent. You feel like it's being pushed back against now.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Because even at the core of it all, like with all of the corporations, like, and all of what they may want you to do, I feel like everything starts from this, like the culture, like, and they're always pulling from the culture, like unk, the word unk, and it's just kind of like, yo, these are things that we've like been saying. These are things and sayings that we've had embedded in like what this is,
Right. And now they're kind of glumming on to. I want to ask you about something. I was listening to your freestyle, and you said, how the fuck we supposed to win when all we got is Aiden Ross?
Right.
Explain that bar.
I feel like it's very, very direct, because I feel like if that's the bar for, I feel like, important voices, in that sense, I feel like we are fucked. If that's the bar, if that's like what the youth is looking for information, and and information on our culture, because at the end of the day, like, these are guests in our culture.
These are guests. Who's the these?
People that don't look like us.
Right. You can say white.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. When we talk about that, so would you say that, so you have Aiden Ross, right? Who represents a different cultural perspective. He's interviewing a lot of big rappers. He has a lot of big audience. One thing that the internet has done has made audience has taken control over prestige. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how important the work that you do is. If you have a big audience, you are important. That's it. It is over. Right. Yeah. But there are people, maybe like a bootleg Kev. Yeah. You know what I mean? There are people that are in the space that are white. Right. That seem to have more of a direct allegiance to maintaining some type of cultural consistency.
Definitely.
So you feel like there is a difference between those guys, or do they understand that they're guests? What's the difference between a bootleg Kev and an Aiden Ross?
I feel like bootleg Kev, like an ally. Bootleg Kev he's more of an ally. Yeah. He understands what this is. He understands the space, and he understands his position in the space. And I feel like that's very important.
Compare that to rap. Who's a guest in rap, or who understands the culture, or is there anyone?
Yeah, I feel like Mac Miller was a guest that like understood, and he was someone that we all accepted in the space as well.
Yeah. And a legitimately sincere musician.
Absolutely, 1,000%. And he made some of the most
fantastic
incredible music ever. So
who's a guest?
Who's a guest in this culture?
In rap, yeah.
That looks like us, or don't look like us.
Don't look like us.
Who is a guest? Who is a guest? I feel like Eminem. Eminem is a guest.
Yeah, I think he knows it.
Yeah, Eminem knows it. Yeah. Eminem is a guest.
I think he knows it. I think Eminem has gone out over the course of his career. He's got a lot of stuff because of who he is. But I think Eminem knows that it's very important for him to not position himself as someone who is a hip hop dominator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he is white. I think he knows that.
Yeah, definitely. He's another one that I feel like recognizes and understands like the space that he's in, and who has impacted the culture positively.
Me and you have a running joke about me talking about like, because I have friends from LA and I talk about like the LA street shit is so many rules. One time Glasses sent me, I told you guys about this map before, and the map was about every hood that was in LA. I was fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
Baton Rouge, 5 different hoods. They big, you go to different places, you know, LA, street to street, different situation, and there's lore with all of it. There's lore of it. There was a party, people got to shooting, then they formed their own. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you listen to Glasses talk about this stuff. It's like he starts to grow an old white beard. Let me tell you about the history of it. Like, like a gang wizard or something like that. That is a very specific thing here in Los Angeles. It's in Chicago and Jacksonville, a couple other places. Can LA rappers really get it popping without some sort of street affiliation, without some hood behind you, without some set behind you? Is it difficult to be viable in LA as a rapper if you don't come from a set, if you're not adjacent to a set, if you're not a part of that culture?
Yeah, I feel like there are rappers that I felt like have had like decent success that have had great success that weren't like pushing that sort of line. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like to give him his credit as such, but Will.I.am.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
He's a perfect example.
Yeah.
You know? Just because he's making Boom Boom Pow doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying? He's not from Los Angeles, or even Tyler, the Creator.
Same thing, yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I feel like Los Angeles has a lot of versatility in that way. And I feel like Tyler is somebody that, for that reason, I feel like a lot of people didn't see him as an LA rapper because he wasn't pushing that sort of line. But I love how, he was one of the, performers at the Pop Out, because I feel like that was a moment and everybody like being like, yo, Tyler is one of us. Like, he grew up in Hawthorne, he's definitely south of the 10 certified for sure.
The crowd definitely reflected that.
Absolutely.
Were you there?
I was.
I was like, whoa.
You would have thought Kendrick himself
came out. No, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It was like that energy. I'm like, wow, like he people love him.
Getting to know you, what originally pulled you into music, and when did you realize rap was going to be the path for you? And did I read that your father was a pastor?
He is.
How did that influence?
I'm a PK.
Piece
for
of
sure. Shit. Yeah, I am.
That's why you rebelled with the devil's music.
They're always preachers' kids are always fun.
Yeah,
that's the devil's music.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I really love Sinners. I really love that.
Oh, you related to Sammy?
Yeah, man. That one definitely spoke to me so deeply, especially because of like just like the message and like the form of ministry Sammy decided to go in, and how his father was like warning him and things of that nature. But I ain't gonna lie, my dad, he loved my music. He loves my music. My dad he front row every show.
Aww.
He loves my music.
So there was never in a way, because you're Ghanaian.
Absolutely.
Right. So being from Ghana, and the sort of religiousness that comes, particularly in a lot of, there's a religious and a cultural sort of deal that you're doing with your dad, and that he never let that get in the way of his understanding of your hip hop.
No, because he's like, this is his form of ministry, and also what I choose to speak about,
right?
My music, not everybody's gonna be a preacher, and he understands that. And when my parents came to this country, they came here to create opportunity. And one thing that they realize now more than ever in 2025 is so much opportunity out here compared to how they grew up back home. So my mom and my dad, they front row every show. They telling everybody. My mom got a beauty supply, and everybody that comes through there, she's telling everybody, oh, my son is a rapper, he's on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. So I be getting random messages sometimes like, yo, I just went to your mom's store and she put me on your music. Yo, you dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So yeah, they're definitely my biggest supporters. But for the longest, I'm not gonna lie, I hid it from them because I was scared that they wouldn't be receptive or accepting of what it was that I was super passionate about. So yeah, it's and to answer your question, once I realized I was not going to the NBA, I was like, I need to find.
I hooped with you. That was never gonna happen.
Yeah.
See, welcome to.
Yeah, I hoop with him. I hoop with Nana. I'm fucking with Nana, but I did.
Did y'all hoop together?
We did.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Van nicer than I thought.
Finish what you were saying. Finish what you were saying.
I'm sorry.
Come on, we gotta talk about you.
Like 300. I'm sorry that I'm not whack.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you did say he was never going, so I don't know what that. I don't know what the talent really compares to.
Van was moving like Kareem in 2021, but he was moving in slow motion.
But you know what I'm saying? I was bigger even at the time. You know now with the Achilles is fucked up.
You know that old nigga at the part that just can't miss, but he moving in slow motion. You can hear every crack, snap, crackle, and pop, and every bone. And he just, I'm like, yo, he got it. I'm like, man, it's nice.
That bitch go, if I can get that bitch, if that bitch go up, it's going in. And we was playing outside. What's that part?
It was Baldwin Hills Park.
Baldwin Hills Park.
Yeah.
Because Nick, another thing about Nick is Nick keep you connected to your people.
Yeah.
As Nick is like, hey, I want to go get something to eat. Nick is not taking you anywhere in Hollywood.
Not never.
Nick is taking you to a place where when you walk in, they go, homie, cool? And Nick go, yeah, he could. Yeah. Like we walk in there. That's Nick's thing. Nick is connected to the community.
Real talk. And I gotta say this about Nick too. Like, I'm from Los Angeles. I was born and raised, in South Central. And Nick has put me onto so many different that I thought I knew. Mm-hmm. And he's like one of the most universal people. Like, he's familiar with Southern culture. Mm-hmm. He's familiar with Los Angeles culture. When it comes to music and entertainment, he's like a historian. I'm like, yo, how old are you really, bro?
He tell you to pull up. Last thing I say about him, that's my man. He tell you to pull up. He says it's going to be people here. You never know if it's going to be his homie that just got out or J.J. Abrams. You just don't know.
That's a fact.
You never know. You never know who it's going to be. It's good, but he got something.
Absolutely. And I got to say this too. One last thing about Nick that I had to it to this day, it really makes me happy because I never had the chance to actually formally meet him. Nick played my music for Nipsey a month before he passed.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought that that was one of the most fulfilling things for me, especially where it is that I come from and what I represent and what I speak about, and my identity as well, because Nip was East African from South Central. I'm West African from South Central, so that made me so happy. And as you know, him passing impacted everybody, so I was just kind of he was like, yo, I played your music. I was like, man, stop lying. Like I said, sometimes you never know with Nick. Yeah. But he showed me the receipts. He showed me the text. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Wow.
So
what underrated? I think about rappers in LA that are underrated. I was on the way here. RJ 30 in the Middle played. That's one of my favorite songs, bro. That song is so hard. I don't understand. That's a record that every time I play that record, people go, who is that? LA is, to me, the capital of the underrated rapper. Absolutely. Because even the rappers that are rated, to me, are still underrated.
Right.
Buddy, rated. Everybody, that's a rap star.
Yep.
Still underrated. Reason, rated. That's a rap star. That's a legitimate rap star. Still underrated.
Yep.
Still underrated. I would say that bro, I can make an argument that even Ab Soul.
Absolutely.
Still under all of this immense, crazy, really transcendent talent that for some reason
why?
I don't know why.
Why?
They all of these guys are that, and I could even go further, right? With a lot of other people.
Smoke.
All of these guys are that, but it seems like sometimes it doesn't escape the LA capture.
Yeah. I feel like people feel like our music is so regional for whatever reason. I never understood that. Why people feel
I don't know. I'm from Texas. And I like it. I'm not familiar with everybody you guys just named, but it does feel just for y'all. Right. And I don't know what that feeling is, but it just doesn't feel like it's for everybody. Not saying it's not good. Right. It just feels like you're not in the club.
Right.
And I don't know why.
Right. But I feel like music was in a better space when everything did feel regional. You know, when you know, because Weekend Freak It comes on in the club, you gonna dance.
Crazy.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Best beats of all time, Corrupt like crazy.
You
But
know,
that's a very West Coast song.
Yeah, Move Bitch Get Out the Way is Southern Mosh Pit. Like that's like, you know,
It is
ghetto, like,
Southern
yeah,
mosh
that's
pit.
like,
Yeah.
you feel me? That's like, you know, so I don't know. For whatever reason, people feel like our music is just like, you know, maybe it's because I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, but I've heard people be like, yo, you know, I don't know. I can't really get down to that because it's super, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just can't get into it. But I'm just kind of like, you know, our music, I feel like the foundation of it and what it was kind of built upon, you know, is music in its purest form, like Zapp and Roger.
Yeah.
You know, Bootsy Collins, and you got Dr. Dre and them that took that and, you know, evolved it from what it was. So I don't know. Your
EP is coming out pretty soon. Tell me about the new EP.
So it's called The Internet Killed the Superstar.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like the name itself speaks volumes on various different levels. You know, I feel like everything is too accessible. The things that people have and fans have, they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have access to. Spotify monthly listeners, they shouldn't have access to, because they start to feel as if they can be the A&R, and you know, they made a couple of playlists and all of a sudden, and it's crazy thing. I said this the other day. I feel like we're in a day and age where, you know, those are the people that actually get the A&R jobs.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so full circle, it comes back around. I just feel like people have too much access to everything. You know, it's certain things that we shouldn't see, or I feel like it's certain things that we don't value as much because we have too much access to it. You know, when Michael Jackson was alive and kicking and going crazy, you know, you didn't know what he did or what he ate last night, or, you know, it kept you had to write fan mail and hope that whoever was running his fan mail would send you something back. And, you know, it just kept your mind wondering. And when you saw him, it made it more impactful because you're like, yo, that's Michael Jackson. Nowadays, you got fans and comments talking crazy to their favorite artists, like, you bitch ass nigga, when you gonna drop da 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 da? And it's like, back then there was more reverence, there was more respect, you know, because you didn't see
They weren't everywhere.
They weren't everywhere.
Is there anybody that you think still has it like that? Like, is there anybody who feels mythical or magical that's an artist that still keeps the mystery, the curiosity?
Kendrick.
Yeah.
I would say Kendrick.
Dot maybe.
Kendrick and I feel like Kendrick, Beyonce, Jay-Z too.
Yeah.
I feel like Jay-Z is like, you know, he's like one of those people, he walk in a room and it's just like the aura, like his, you know, it just like, yo, that's Jay-Z, you know? Yeah, I feel like those are the few. So.
Last question. You one of the little niggas of the rap game. In the rap game, you are a little nigga.
What do you mean?
Like, if we looking at rappers, you a little nigga, right?
I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, explain.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm like, is in anything that we doing, is like guys that really move the culture and move the needle and do all of that
You're
stuff.
like comparing to like a Jay-Z or a...
What are you
compared to
saying?
you are very talented, like super talented, but like as far as rappers are concerned, you would be considered a little nigga.
I don't appreciate what you're saying.
Okay.
No, you know, yeah, like, what do you mean by that?
It's the
like
way,
a little nigga.
It's you saying it that way.
Yeah,
I mean, he a little nigga. I mean, if we comparing people to like he a little nigga, what you talking about?
Man. But you saying that I'm a little nigga is like
you don't just say little nigga to.
Yeah, that shit ain't cool. You can't.
Oh, you about to walk? Oh, hold on.
What is you saying, bro?
I'm saying, what you mean?
My nigga, who?
No, hold on, wait, hold on, real quick. What
No, man. First of all, you got to go talk
Well,
about.
wait. I said what the fuck I meant. Like, when I'm
no.
Just give him a
Why you got your hand out, homie?
Nigga, who are you, bro?
Nobody cut. Nobody motherfuckers. I'm real, bro.
Like, real ass nigga, bro. You a weirdo. First of all,
We're done.
don't know you. First of all, don't even know you.
We're done.
That was supposed to be a joke the whole time.
Gotcha.
I was like,
I was like, I have no clue. We just gonna go. I'm sorry. It's all love. It's all love. God bless.
I am not laughing.
Sorry about that,
Wait,
Yo, she's shaking, right?
well, I was like,
Rachel is
why did you ask him that?
Like, okay. Hey, shout out to the homies. Like Rachel.
I was mortified that you said that. Like, run the tape back. I was like, please explain what you mean by that.
That was a joke. We was joking on you the whole time.
I don't like it.
The homies did a good job.
Yo.
Jade, Bernard, were y'all in?
Everybody knew.
We were all in on it.
Okay.
All right.
This was written
Okay.
for Freddy Krueger.
Next.
For Freddy Krueger.
Next.
for Freddy Krueger.
Can I just commend you on your acting though? Like that
the
was
homies was
like,
good.
Y'all, that's when it got.
Put him in something.
Yes.
He didn't even need to be
Jay
killed.
boy.
That's when it got good.
Like, they didn't even
That's what made me believe
I'm gonna
it.
put him in something, man.
That's what made me believe it.
He's good.
I'm gonna literally put him in something. That was dope.
That was good.
He is good.
When I was like, wow, okay, this is really happening.
You didn't
Those are
even
my
try to.
cousins.
You didn't
That's my
square up
cousin
with me and
Josh.
try to get no act right.
Oh, I'm
like,
not gonna jump in between. But you saw I jumped in front. We need to stop. We need to stop.
I've
this.
never seen Van not like that. I didn't know how committed he was gonna be, but he was. I'm
I
like,
literally was like, this turns. I thought they were friends. Literally, that popped up in my head. I thought they were cool. Where is Nicholas May?
Yeah.
he was in on it too.
Let me tell you why Nick was in on it too. Let me tell you. I want y'all to go out. If you're listening right now, I want y'all to go out and get Nana's music serious, man. This is one of the most solid, consistent, talented brothers that I've ever met. The music is great. Shout out to my man Desus too. Like Desus be rocking with the shit. The music is
Absolutely.
great.
Thank you.
And I feel like next year is going to be a gigantic year for you. I just wanted to introduce you to the higher learning audience. You can see him everywhere. Been doing this thing for a long time. You can see him everywhere. But you right there is happening, and the music is consistently getting better.
Thank you.
I wanted to use you and your street connections to troll Rachel because she did Freddy Krueger 3 years in a row. You handled it better than I thought you was.
You thought I was gonna be like, call security.
I thought you handled it better than I thought you was.
Is that what you thought I was
You handled
gonna
it better
do?
than I thought you was. But like, so we got the close up to Rachel. I want to see. All right.
Thank you
really
so much.
thinking
And I
about
gotta say this before y'all did. I really appreciate you guys having me on your platform, and in relation to piggyback off of what you were saying, just as far as important voices, I want to thank you both for the voices that you have, that you provide on behalf of us, you know, and what you guys do. It really means a lot. And I love how you guys hold people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that's very important, you know, in the day and age and the space that we're in. You guys aren't afraid. You guys are trailblazers in what it is that you guys do. And I really appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Appreciate you too,
Thank
y'all.
you.
That's
That makes up for it.
That's Nana. Y'all go get the music, stream the stuff that's already out. Go get the stuff that's new. We're gonna come back in a second. Let's take a break. We're probably gonna get more political on next show, but right now we gotta talk about Sydney Sweeney. A lot of entertainment stuff that's going on. Sydney Sweeney says that she's against. Hey, Donnie, talk about it.
Yeah, she talked to People magazine about the blowback that she got for the American Eagle. Sydney Sweeney has great genes ad. This is what she was quoted as saying to People. She said, "I was honestly surprised by the reaction. I did it because I love the jeans and love the brand, and I don't support the views some people chose to connect to the campaign. Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm always trying to bring people together. I'm against hate and divisiveness. In the past, my stance has been to never respond to negative or positive press, but recently, I've come to realize that my silence regarding this issue has only widened the divide, not closed it. So I hope this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of what divides us."
Rach?
No. No.
What's wrong?
I just, you know, this is also her way of saying, don't ask me this question again. Let's stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'll say. I'm not going to read too much into it. I'm going to take Sydney Sweeney at her word. She says this is who she is. She doesn't align with the views that people tried to place on her in regards to what the ad was insinuating, or people took it to be insinuating. They haven't outright said that's what it is. My only thought is, then you should have just said it from the beginning. Because what she says in this interview with People Magazine is that she was silent, and she said, I've come to realize that my silence regarding the issue only widened the divide, not closed it. That's not true. You weren't silent. You actually gave a statement to GQ, and that's what fed into people feeling like, oh, okay, well, tell us how you really feel. You laughed and giggled. You said it didn't affect me one way or the other. You were flippant. You were a little dismissive. You were very cavalier about it all, and you acted like you were unaware of how people were offended or the impact or the underlying issue of the man. You played dumb about it. And I think that's what fed into people even more so having a problem with it. We also know that it wasn't as big of a deal as it was made. New York Times did a whole article on how it was a couple of videos that the right took and ran with it because they knew it would become a political issue and turned it into something bigger than it really was. Like, the New York Times has all the statistics surrounding that. But my thing is like, I don't really feel that strongly about it. Just like the first time we talked about it, I said the same thing. I'm really not that up in arms about it. But don't also talk to us like what happened didn't happen. You were very cavalier about the whole thing. And now you have a statement that speaks directly to it. And that's great. And I believe you in what you say. And let's move on.
I think the whole thing was pretty silly from the beginning. I think the whole thing was pretty silly. The ad, the jeans, I mean, you know, you talk about jeans, you talk about superior jeans, whatever. It's like I've just heard so many times, it's like, it's in the jeans, you're tall, you can do whatever. We can have a deeper conversation. We have a deeper conversation. Guys, we can make a living off deeper conversations, which is what we do here at Highland. We have a deeper conversation. I have no problem with it. I was never offended by the ad.
Yeah.
What is interesting about this, though, if you want to have a deeper conversation, is why she's saying this now and has nothing to do with the way that she's been perceived.
I was trying not to
So,
go there.
like, what happened with the American Eagle thing was that them jeans went crazy. I don't know if people know, but your anger over the jeans didn't do shit. Jeans was flying off the fucking sales racks, going crazy. Everybody went out and got themselves some good jeans. That's
like
what
their
happened.
Stock went up.
Stock went up. Everything went nuts. Everything went crazy for them.
For their company.
It's all great.
Not for her.
Like all of that stuff. No, for her it was fine. For her it was fine. It did not in any way affect her, or there was no measurable way to know that it affected her until one thing happened. Sydney Sweeney did a movie this year called Christy. The movie is about a pioneering women's boxer named Christy Martin. The film went to 2,100 theaters in its first week, and it made $1.3 million domestic. That is historically bad. Historically bad. Historically bad. There's a new movie coming out called The Housemaid or something like that. I think that's the name of the movie. And she doesn't want that movie to do historically bad.
Yep.
Because now what Sydney Sweeney has become is something that a movie star cannot be. Divisive. She's become a divisive cultural figure. About a year ago, 2 years ago, everyone could agree on Sydney Sweeney. She was a bubbly, big-breasted, white star on The Verge. What is the worst thing for movie stars is when people cannot agree on you. When they can't agree that they want to go see your movies, they can't agree that it's okay to be a fan of you. To be a movie star, most people have to agree on you. That's what being a movie star is. She and her people, for whatever reason, were put in the position where it's difficult to have a non-committal general opinion on Sydney Sweeney. She is either the same big-breasted white girl from Euphoria that opened the movie with Glenn, or she is the MAGA wicked witch of the West. Well, actually, she's not the MAGA wicked witch of the West. She's Glenda, the good MAGA witch. And people decided that we don't want to see Glenda, the good magic witch, in her Oscar turn and the movie that was going to make her a serious actress. They didn't like that. And people were like, hey, go get your shit back. Go and
course.
take your movie stardom back. Either lean into it, which would make her divisive forever, or get back to a point where you're letting people know you can go see the stuff that I make and you don't have to think about me. Now, I know that there have been stars that have taken political stands forever, but it's never the stars that you think that it is. So your stars that take the political stands are your serious character, actor, movie type stars, people. You're not going to hear Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, all of these people take any stands that would put people in direct opposition to them. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you get a Brad Pitt gay marriage situation. Sometimes, but the ones that you're talking about that you want to go out and watch their rom-coms, unless it is a layup, they stay quiet on this stuff. And being directly connected to a political movement like MAGA, it's just not going to work for her if that's what she wants to be. If she wants to be a gigantic movie star that opens 4-quadrant movies or even opens big rom-coms or movies like that, she can't do it.
Well, I didn't touch on the movie part of it, but it was more than just Christy. That other movie came out too. After the ad, the Americana movie. It was released after in theaters in the States. It did not do well either.
Christy was specific though, and I'll tell you why. It was specific because she was in that film, and that movie might have not been a big box office movie, but it was
supposed
specific.
to be an Oscar
It was
movie.
supposed to be a big Oscar thing. Yeah. It was her doing the whole transformation. That's the movie that gets you to the next, that gets you taken seriously.
Yeah. No. I agree. But I all to your point, I think that the biggest mistake she made is acting like she said, it doesn't affect me. And then they said, oh, just wait. And now it's affecting her, which is, to your point, why we're getting the response that we're getting.
Yeah, I'm not tripping on Sydney Sweeney. I know people have all kinds of problems with her and stuff like that. It's just,
No. We've maintained on this podcast, like that was, this was never an issue for us. It definitely wasn't our issue.
All right. Man, there's something that's happening right now, and we got to talk about it on higher learning, but it's like, I will say it's an interesting situation for us. All right, before we even get to this, I want to say something. Black History Month is coming up. It's in February. It's very important, Black History Month. All right, I think it's the 100th anniversary.
Oh, is it?
It's something like that. Me and DeRay been talking about it. It's a very important Black History Month.
Okay.
Right? So I think that Black History Week was 50 years, and then Black History Month was 50 years. I think this is the 100th anniversary of it. Shout out to Carter G. Wilson. We talked about him a little earlier. So here at The Ringer, I have a idea for Black History Month. How The Ringer can celebrate Black History Month. The Ringer should do this for one whole month. The Ringer Black History Pop-Up.
Okay.
Meaning, any Black on-camera talent at The Ringer should be able to pop up on any Ringer podcast unannounced for 5 minutes.
I love it.
So if you in the office and you on camera, Black Ringer talent, and you just decide that you want to go pop in on the watch for 5 minutes while Andy and Chris are talking about a show, you get 5 minutes to go in there and just get your shit off.
No, you know why I love this? Because I don't know most of, it's a running joke. I don't know the podcast or people who are here. I just want to wander. I just want to wander into random podcasts and be like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Who are you? Where am I?
Like Bill is sitting down talking to Chuck Klosterman. You walk in and you go, let's do 5 minutes on Grace Jones. Fuck it. Like you on the rewatchables,
so with it.
You walk in, they talking about Over the Top. You walk in and you go, hey, you know what? Give me a 3-minute clear out on Uptown Saturday Night. That's the whole month. The whole month. And you never you could see them looking up on camera like, oh shit, here come Jomi. Jomi just sit down and he just going to his shit.
Let's have a meeting after this.
3 to 5 minutes of the Ringer Blacks.
Let's have a meeting.
3 to 5 minutes. That should be the Black History pop-up. The reason why I bring that up is because we're going to talk about something that is now kind of Ringer involved, because Stephen A. Smith versus Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman now got a podcast with us.
Part of the Ringer family.
Part of the Ringer family, him and Rich Paul. So when we are talking about this, we have to say at the outset that Max is now a Ringer.
Yeah.
Stephen A, we have a relationship with Stephen A. I know Stephen A a little bit. You know Stephen A. But when we talk about this, we have to have a conversation with the audience and let them know that Max does work for The Ringer now. Because something happened that fascinated me. Max went on Bill's podcast, and he called himself Muhammad Kellerman. And he intimated that the reason why Stephen A. Smith didn't like doing First Take with him is because Max used to roll Stephen A. Smith up, stuff him in the fucking trash.
He basically said it.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, who wants to go 15 rounds with Muhammad Kellerman?
He said it.
Like, this motherfucker here going crazy. Like, what did you think about that statement?
I thought he's really happy to be back in front of a camera on a microphone and happy to be a part of the Ringer family because he said, I've been waiting for this. It's my time now. And I love that it was done on our network.
Donnie, on our network. Donnie.
The Ringer Network.
The Ringer Network, I guess so.
The Ringer Network.
Donnie, what did you think of it?
It's spicy. I like spicy. It's workplace spice.
Donnie likes it.
He has been waiting to say this.
He's been waiting to get that shit off of his chest.
That didn't come to him in the moment. He planned on saying that.
So Stephen A. responded to Max saying that on his podcast on Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith.
Play it.
Donnie, play that.
Play it.
Did I hear correctly? Did we show when he called himself Muhammad Kellerman, as in Muhammad Ali Kellerman? Muhammad Ali Kellerman. Oh my God. Oh. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had my researchers check and make sure that wasn't AI. That wasn't some shit that somebody just made up. You know, I had to double check that shit. I really, really did. I couldn't believe it, okay? If we were talking about boxing, you're absolutely right, because I don't know anybody that knows more boxing than Max Kellerman. He's extraordinary, no doubt about that. We're talking about First Take, though. And he took it someplace that all I want to say is, are you really sure you want to go there? See, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Are you sure you want to go there? Because I'm not unless you take me there.
So as far as what goes on behind the scenes, I don't really know about that. I can't really say anything about that. We never really get the story that everybody has their own perspective. And it's interesting what's been happening over the last, 2 or 3 months. Stephen A., and then Jamel, and then Michelle Beadle, and then Carrie Champion, and then all of these people that work with him and their perceptions of him and how different they look at him. There's times where they have a lot of affinity for him, but then there's also other things that they it seems like Stephen A. is the ultimate company man, meaning like at every place that you work, there is somebody that like you think that you can talk to. And then you talk to them, and while they might be helpful, what the fuck am I opining for? You know, like you work there, so why am I making a conjecture about this? Like, you know what it's like to work with him. I
didn't work as closely with him as Carrie did, as she was the official, third member of First Take for some years. I didn't work with him maybe even as intimately as Jamel did, but I let you, say your piece or whatever about it, because that's fair and everything. I have a very positive experience with Stephen A. Smith.
A lot of people do.
A very positive. Like, I actually don't have one bad thing to say about him, except for I don't agree with, his political takes, which I've expressed on this podcast. I have sat at the between Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith on First Take. So I've been in prep meetings to prepare for shows for First Take with the two of them. They're not in there at the same time either. Like, at least my experience was like that. I will say that when I was there, I thought it was the first time I learned, this is how you can tell people aren't as close during the commercial break, because they're on, like, we'll be on our phones, but we still talk. Yeah. Like, they're just was like no communication until really the camera came on. Now, I was there mid part of their tenure together on First Take. They were cool. I wouldn't have said that they were close from what I saw, but I also don't know the inner workings of it. If I was going to assume, it does seem like Stephen A. Smith is the show, the star, and he does not want anybody to be on his level when it comes to it. It's his show. I think that is how, once Skip left, that's how he looked at the show. And I think that when you have that kind of mentality that maybe you don't want someone else getting equal or more positive attention than you are. And it seems as time went on, that was happening at least on social media, or maybe some of the guests that would come on the show when it came to Max versus Stephen A. Smith. And if you call him a company man, which I can't confirm or deny, but he obviously has had success rising in the company, it does appear that he plays more of a corporate game than Max was willing to.
Well, what I mean by company man is this, and I don't mean to use that as a pejorative. What I mean is this. It's like, everybody that's working at a company right now, everyone, don't matter where you at, there's somebody that you're going to ask for their help and their counsel, and they're going to give you their help or their counsel, right? They're just going to look at you and be like, I'm going to help this person and counsel this person. Give them the straight, real, raw of it, right?
That's Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
In my experience and other people that I do know, and I'm not going to name them, I'm not going to speak for them, he has spoken in rooms for me when I am not there.
Okay. Now, this is what I'll say about that as well. There's a different version of that too, though. There is somebody who the reason why they do that is intel gathering.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that this is him, but I'm saying just so everybody out there knows, there's somebody that will help you and will help you get ahead and speak for you and all of that stuff. But the reason why they do it is partly for you, but partly to build their tribe where they are, and also to know what bothers you, to know what pokes you, to build. They'll take what you say, right? And if it advantages them to weaponize whatever malaise you're in or whatever distrust you have in the company, if it benefits them, they'll use that. If it benefits them, the knowing a little bit more about you, that's why two things people have to really, really, really be careful about. One, who you let edit you. Anyone who you give the opportunity to tell you what you should or should not say, that person will then think that that's their responsibility. So just super be careful who you let edit you. The people that you go to and say, hey, should I have done that? It's just human nature. When you do that with somebody, they're going to think now it's their responsibility to do that. Most people, they'll come back and be like, hey, just as I know you asked me before, you probably shouldn't say this either. It's just be careful who you let edit you. And the second one is be careful who you complain to. Be careful who you go to and say, this isn't working out. Can I please have some counsel about this? Because that is a very, very intimate relationship to have with somebody. And if you know somebody's got your best interest at heart, you have to know to do that with them. Because some people will take that, and if it's 2 years from now and they not fucking with you no more, or if it's 2 months from now and they not fucking with you no more, and you up for the promotion and they can get closer to the boss of the place by saying, yeah, I don't know about them. Like they've been having a tough time. You didn't act like, I don't know about them. They've been having a tough time. That, when people do stuff like that, it gets them closer to the uppers, because the uppers think, oh, now that's somebody that I can trust to come to me and tell me when things aren't going right. That's somebody I can trust about that. Sure. And if you have to be sidelined for them to get closer to them, they'll do that. So I'm not saying anything about Stephen A. I never worked with them. I do know that there seems to be a one faction of people that look at him just like you. And I've heard this so many times about what he does for people. Then there's another group of people that think that he does that for his own benefit and to his own ends. And
I can only speak to because I have an actual personal experience, I can only speak to that. But I will say that it did get to a point where he didn't want him on the show.
Well, that's what we're about to do right here.
It got to a point where Stephen A. Smith and Max could not work together anymore.
The question that we ask ourselves here at Higher Learning, the place that does the work that some of you guys don't want to do, we get deep into the guts of a situation. And we get deep into them guts until a situation can't handle us anymore. Till the situation gently puts that hand on you and says, okay, just a little, stop. Okay. And then you have to be a little bit more gentle. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Just keep going.
I'm sorry, Rachel. I apologize, man. That was too much.
You can't help yourself.
I know.
We've been here for almost 2 hours. It has to seep out.
Yeah, I know. Seep out. No, there's a strong stream. No, I'm I'm like I do Kegels. So we decided that we are going to First Take embraces the debate. We decided that we're going to score some of these debates to see who came out on top. All right, Rachel was very into this idea.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Also miss old First Take.
I miss it too.
So
yeah. So we're not gonna do. We looked for these and they're very long winded on First Take, which is it should be because like who am I to get on somebody for that? That's my whole brand. But we're gonna take bites of these back and forths and we're gonna score them like boxing.
Okay.
We got 3 or 4 of them here. All right. First, there was Max and Stephen A going back and forth on the NBA lifting the marijuana ban. Donnie, play it.
They'd have the right to. Because there are examples of players who've shown up high, that's a reason to outlaw recreational use on someone's own time. It's absurd on its face. Many baseball players have shown up. World Series.
No, that's not accurate.
Series
You said your own time. No, answer that. You said your own time. What do you mean your own time? Be specific. Be specific.
When
what do you mean your own time?
playing the game, not the
We're
night
not talking
you're playing
about
it. You
that.
can't show up high. You can't show up high. But after the game, what you go off and do is your business. Now, many pitchers, David Wells came straight from the bar.
That happened.
Drunk, pitched a perfect game.
He should
But
be
I'm sure
allowed
there are
to. I'm
plenty
against that too.
Of course, but that doesn't mean that you say they can't drink alcohol on their own time. Particularly a league that is in bed with companies that peddle alcoholic beverages. It is absurd if that's the standard, that especially once marijuana is legalized, to set, if the bar is alcohol, marijuana passes that threshold. Every credible peer-reviewed study ever done will tell you alcohol is worse society, and for the individual,
Cut it off. Cut it off. That's a 10-9 round for Kellerman. I feel like Kellerman, the higher learning crew family, I feel like Kellerman took that one.
There was no other point to make. He killed it when he said they can do it on their own time. I agree, don't come into the game, but on your own time, that's your own time.
But it's just a tough stance to take that in some way weed is more destructive than alcohol, particularly
that's
with
a conservative
alcohol,
view.
All right.
Oh, God.
All right. Now here's another Flashpoint issue that was good. Rachel, you introduced this one.
Which one is
Let's
this?
go to the
Black Lives Matter? What the fuck?
This is Stephen A. Smith versus Max Kellerman on the Black Lives Matter protest. I'm just telling you right now, this got to be a victory for Stephen A. He's got to win this one.
Well, you would hope so.
This is his backyard, right? Donnie, play it.
We got a lot to protest about. But when you riot, particularly in your own community,
we already lost. We lost. We lost.
We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
Something that we lamented. Because when the fire stops burning and the damage has been done, and you've done it in your own community, where do you go from there? The Detroit riots, for example, in 1967, they still have never fully recovered from that.
It's not what happened, guys.
They ravaged their own community at that particular moment in time. I only bring that up to say this. In this regard, and I only bring that up to say this. In this regard, when you're looking at the NBA, you're not talking about the players. You're talking about the collateral effect that it has on people the sport employs, on people in local economies who feed off of that. The fact is, just something like that, canceling the NBA season, it's not just going to affect the players. It's going to affect thousands upon thousands of people.
That is true.
Millions, if not billions of dollars for the economies. And that's going to have a ripple
What
effect.
could Max possibly
You can't
say?
ignore that. Because that's going to affect us.
Obviously,
that's not about games.
It's better not to riot. I'm not pro-riot.
He agreed.
Okay, let me be very clear about that off the top.
I'm not saying that. I just brought that up.
Rioting in their own communities. Black people don't own those communities.
Oh shit!
They don't own those communities, and this culture has been rioting against black people for hundreds of years now.
This nigga sound like John Brown.
It's just interesting. But they're not. The property they're destroying is not their own, even, in fact. I'm not. So
but it is in their community.
It's not, like the idea that, well, this is counterproductive. It's may be in certain ways. It is in certain ways. Not maybe. I don't want to. It is in certain ways, and it's it's better not to riot. However, it's not in all the ways that's presented in the media.
That's true too.
That's true too. Okay. We got to be objective. How do we score that one? So Stephen A. Smith basically made the point that rioting is bad. He also said that Detroit has not recovered from the riots. I would say to Stephen A. Smith and other people that make that Detroit has not covered for the loss of industry with the differing sort of, the globalization of the auto industry. Plants moving out of different places and leaving people in Detroit.
Yeah, that's a lot of Midwest cities.
That would then exacerbate the racial differences that have always existed there, but that became more prevalent after there was no industry left and people moved out to Auburn Hills and left the city to die. But he thinks it was because of a riot, so that's fine. How would you score that? How would you score Stephen A. Smith against Max Kellerman?
Did Stephen A. Smith ever say the word protest?
I don't remember. I mean, in that clip he didn't.
In that clip he didn't. He popped off with the riot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of negatives there. A lot of negatives with the riot. Max won this because he does make the point. I mean, he makes the point that they weren't their stores. He said, well, first off, he says, I'm against rioting, which that's always the stance that I take. I say, I'm for the protesting.
You know I don't give a fuck.
Yes, I know. We've talked about this.
Like fucking go and set some shit on fire.
I don't believe in the rioting. I will agree with Stephen A. Smith. Like, Max is right. It's not their stores, but it is their community. So, like, you're destroying your community in a sense if it's a riot.
Yeah.
But Max makes the point at the end where he's like, that's what the media is showing you. Most protests are peaceful. That's why I said, did Stephen A. Smith say the word protest? So in this round, maybe it's a tie, but if I had to lean, I'd give it to Max.
I also would just like to say that, like, when you talk about people destroying their own community, you'd have to show me people, like, setting their homes on fire and all of that stuff like this. Most of this stuff is capital.
So you don't think that if the places that you shop, the store is a part of the community?
Depends on who owns it.
I understand that concept, but if this is where you go every day and where you shop and where you like bring things into your own home, it's not part of your community. Even if you don't own it, you don't think that that's destroying your neighborhood?
A Target is not a part of your community.
I guess I'm not thinking of a Target. I'm thinking of the mom and pop shop.
Could be the
local grocery store.
I understand the point that you are making and all of that stuff. A lot of this stuff.
I'm not thinking Walmarts and Targets.
Like a lot of this stuff.
Because those usually aren't the
about,
stores that are destroyed.
I don't know that you could say that. That's kind of not, you know what I mean? When people are doing the things that they're doing. By the way, I'm not in any way saying that people should go out and do. I'm just saying, but a lot of times when this stuff is talked about, the context is missing and it looks like a bunch of apes went out and destroyed their grandfather's home and all of that stuff. Well, it's not true.
I just don't even like,
it's never true.
I just don't even like when, that's why I want to cut off when he said riot. You've already lost the plot. I do not like it when people start throwing the word riot out there when we're talking about protests.
Right.
You've already messed up the conversation.
Well, some of that stuff involves civil disobedience that turns into resistance.
Correct.
Okay.
But there's a connotation.
Who won the debate? Who you gonna go with? 10-9.
Max.
God damn, Max is up 2 rounds. Okay. All right, let's go to sports real quick. Donnie, this is LeBron James versus Kevin Durant. All right, this is a LeBron James versus Kevin Durant argument. Max versus Stephen A. Sports, basketball, Stephen A's wheelhouse.
Yes, and Max is taking the LeBron stance and Stephen A is taking the
Kevin Durant stance. Let's score this.
No. I said KD with Kyrie and Kevin Love.
Well, I'll put it another way. Give
God.
LeBron James.
I specifically asked. I just want to answer. Okay, fine. So I'm getting to the next
yelling. That's why
Does KD win the title with D Wade and Chris Bosh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably gets at least one.
Does KD win the title with Anthony Davis?
I don't know. Probably.
I'm done.
I don't know.
I'm done.
I'll tell you this. If you put LeBron, look, there's no two ways about this. KD and the Warriors looked at LeBron and they said, we won 73 games. We still couldn't get by this dude. And KD said, I'm with Westbrook and Ibaka and Steven Adams. I still can't get by this dude. They had to join forces to overcome LeBron. Period. So LeBron can do more with less. That is true. That's why he's the best. I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
I think that's fair to say.
Okay, who won that one?
I think LeBron can do more with less. I think that's shown.
Oh, you go for Max on that one.
I think that
wow.
I think that has been shown, particularly with when he went back to Cleveland.
When did he? Okay, when
who was on the team? Kyrie,
Kevin Love.
And Kevin Love.
The nigga had what you mean? Like the nigga, like wherever LeBron is one.
Who was on the bubble team?
That was Anthony Davis. That was Dwight Howard. I think Rondo. A lot of guys.
Less.
But what's saying in that situation, that's in the bubble, and that is him with another top 10, top 15.
I guess he had Anthony, but
top 15 player in the NBA.
You think Kevin and Anthony could win just having them could win a championship?
Man, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm the type of person. I'm not going to downplay in any way what Kevin Durant's talent is possible on the basketball court. I know you didn't, but all I'm saying is, do I think that a pairing of Kevin Durant, a healthy Kevin Durant, and a healthy Anthony Davis could win a championship? Yeah.
So Stephen A. won for you.
I got to give this one to Stephen A.
Okay.
I got to give this one to Stephen A.
Because he's the basketball.
He, like, in this situation, if arguing that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James or whatever, or that LeBron James can do more with less, I don't know that LeBron James has ever done more with less. I'm certainly, if you look at the overall scheme of things, the Cleveland team was, the team in Cleveland was not the same as the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors had stuff. They had a lot of stuff, but that Cleveland team never beat the Golden State Warriors when the Warriors had Kevin Durant. Right, they never beat them when they had
sure, but they were stacked.
But they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. I personally think that was a upset because they were up 3-1. But when you look at the whole thing, I don't know that LeBron did more with less. They acting like LeBron did what Dirk Nowitzki did. Dirk did more with less. And that's not saying that Jason Terry and the rest of those guys weren't less, but he didn't have another Hall of Famer superstar. He had Jason Kidd, later Jason Kidd. That's more with less. You could argue that Jokic has done like more with less. But even that less, he still got a gang of fucking dogs. He still got Aaron Gordon. He still got Jamal Murray, all of that. I'm going to get that one to Stephen A.
Okay.
All right. Last one is not necessarily Stephen A versus Max. It's just when I was searching this came up.
You have to put this one in there.
And this is fucking hilarious.
It's the most famous one.
Jade likes this. This is fucking hilarious. Play it. Stephen A versus Terrell Owens.
You want to get your lawyer, and your lawyer wants to stand up there and say, this waiver is an issue. We're ready to work out, but not until they alter this waiver, etc. That's different. But to not do the workout, to change locations, and then to go and give a speech to the media without taking any questions, any inquiry as to what's really going on, you are leaving others to surmise what the hell happened.
Can I
and I
answer
don't
that
think
real
that's
quick?
fair.
Tio, do you mind if I jump in, Tio?
Yes, before you do that, but
go ahead,
what I wanted is transparency, Stephen A. And that's like I've done it. I've had incidents throughout the course of my career. And then there have been times where I've gone into interviews where I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours of an interview. And then they break down and they edit, and then you guys get on the show, and there's a panel of people, and then they break down whatever clips that they show. They're not showing the entire hour and a half or 2 hours of that interview that I've done. So what he wanted was transparency for people to see the full workout, to see the full Colin Kaepernick. Again, you mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
So wrong.
You don't cross the line. First of all,
you don't cross the line.
I said, you, Colin Kaepernick.
We don't have time for the whole thing.
Max kind of wins because he knew to shut the fuck up. Max said, "Go ahead, Stephen A."
Max, I gotta get that one to Max because Max not even in this. But at that point, Max said he wanted to say something. T.O., who, man, shout out to my nigga, man. Shout out to T.O. But T.O. knew that he was about to drop a bomb.
He came on to say that.
And he dropped that bomb. And Stephen A., I've never seen Stephen A. Smith at any time be more affected by a single statement than he was just then.
And rightfully so. That's like one of the...
Rightfully so?
That's a damning thing to say because he's right. Again, I have very positive experience personally with Stephen A. Smith. I know the things that he has done publicly and behind closed doors for Black people. And for Terrell Owens to go on there and just throw that blanket statement out there, I would be very offended by it because Stephen A. knew in that moment... It wasn't that he just said, you're not Black. He said, your white co-host is Blacker than you. He knew in that moment it was out of his hands. He knew it was viral. Everyone's going to be making fun of him. They were going to start digging stuff up. It was such an unfair statement to make that I understand his exact reaction to it. And Stephen A. wins that for me.
Okay, Stephen A. wins that. Okay, that's fine. I will say this, though. Stephen A. did have a tendency on the show for whatever reason, and maybe Max was pandering. Maybe I'll get the chance to ask him. Man, he used to make Max look like Malcolm X on that bitch, bro. I'm not fucking playing, man. It would be like, it wouldn't just be on issues directly of race. It would be on issues that were in any way social or cultural. And that was because there was a generational divide. They're not that much apart in age, maybe 7 years, 5, 6, 7 years or something. But like Stephen A. would come out and say something like, women need to make sure that they dress right. And Max would be like, you wear whatever you want. And they didn't actually say that, but he used to make Stephen A.
Yes,
Max
he's more conservative.
He used to make Max look like fucking Black leader on this bitch. Remember, there was one time they were all talking and Snoop was up there and Snoop was saying, amen, brother, to Max Kellerman as Max Kellerman argued with Stephen A. Smith. I personally think that more than anything is the reason why Max isn't up there anymore.
Was that after?
Because the reason why Max ain't there anymore, the debates was one thing, but there was a lot of high leverage social and cultural issues that were happening on First Take. And the contrast between a white guy saying this stuff,
a
white dude making Stephen A. look kind of like that's uncomfortable. If you're up there and it's you and Ryan or you and Jason or you and Perk, I'll tell you somebody else who Stephen A. did not particularly like the way he looked in arguments and debates with them.
Who?
JJ Redick.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Didn't particularly like arguments or debates with that person for whatever reason. The optics kind of look bad. People say that Stephen A. He said look black. It might be because Stephen A. doesn't like the way that looks that he was like, get the fuck out of here. He didn't do that to JJ, but like with Max, if you across a thing from a white guy and the white guy is basically giving you, Medgar Evers, and you coming back on your other, that's tough, man.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But like T.O. should not have said that.
That's funny. I don't think he should have said it either, especially on live TV, like to the man. Like, I don't think he should have said that either.
And then the smile he had on his face after he said it and was like,
I think in Stephen A.'s entire response, he actually sobered T.O. up a little bit and was like, hey, man,
he did.
I think in the entire response, if you watch it, and maybe T.O. realized that. But in that moment, that's one of them getches. Okay, so we had 4 rounds. You got a 3 rounds to 1, Max Kellerman.
Yeah, I mean, do I think that makes him Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Kellerman? No, but he was, when I say I miss old First Take, there were healthy debates on.
No, they weren't.
They were fun debates.
The show is an abomination.
Back then?
Okay. No, like
I like old First Take. You won't take that away from me.
I feel you, but it was entertaining.
That's what I'm saying.
The hot takeification of sports media has been just an abject disaster.
Now,
No, just like, but this is what led to it.
Okay, but I liked the OG part of it. I thought it was very entertaining. I missed that. Do I think that you can do it this way now? No, it's not the same. But at the time, I liked this. I missed this.
My favorite first take showdown involves Jalen Rose.
I know you were going to say that.
Water Pistol Peach. Who are you to talk to me? That shit. Who are you to talk to me? You tell me. You act like I'm not the man. Man, Jalen Rose, bro.
And the evidence.
Shout out to Jalen Rose. Yeah. How can you sit across the table from me? You can give your basketball opinion, but you're talking about my career. I played 16 years in the NBA. I was getting 20 a game. Who are you fucking talking to? Who the fuck do you think you are? If right now, and this is the shit that I don't like, and this is the part of it that I make about race. Right now, if Jalen Rose or whomever else is going to go at Skip Bayless or any of these guys about writing columns and doing all of that shit, they're not going to do that. They respect their place in media and all of that stuff. But to sit across from somebody, and this happened with Chris Carter, this happened to Shannon Sharp, to sit across from somebody and have them tell you about you. When you done blocked, when you didn't score, you scored in the NBA. Jalen Rose is sitting across from Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless is telling Jalen Rose about his career and what more Jalen Rose should do when Skip Bayless could not be a dog on his high school basketball team.
These are the stats that Jalen Rose came with for Skip. He averaged 1.4 points as a senior. He played junior varsity as a junior.
Juniors?
And then he called him Water Pistol Pete Jr.
Did you average?
Those were
and Jalen was waiting. We gotta go. Jalen was waiting. Jalen was like, Did you play as a junior? You averaged 1.5 points a game? Yeah, Pistol Pete. Water Pistol Pete Jr. And then Skip Bayless had the I'm about to be like Stephen A. Smith, had the unmitigated gall to get his fucking feelings hurt after years. Yeah. After years of using pejoratives and insulting terms to describe all of these different athletes, they had to have a 2-day-long cultural therapy session because Skip felt insulted.
And he pretty much had him banned from the show.
Yeah.
But the funniest part too is the reason Jalen responded that way is because Skip was implying that he had a deep understanding of basketball because of his high school playing days.
I guess I do miss the old first take. That's what we found out. Thank you to Nana. Thanks to the Nana's homies who are actually from Drippy's window cleaning service. So I don't know if you thought these guys
servicing the Los Angeles area.
I don't know if you thought those guys were some way with the shits, and that they might be, but they are with Drippy's window cleaning service, where you could go and get power washing, concrete staining, solar panel cleaning, and more. So if you need it, go to Josh Happens, Josh Happens, JOSHAPPENS @gmail.com. That's Gmail with 2 L's. Brother, fix this card, man. They know that they know Gmail. He know that they know Gmail. So, but shout out to them. Great brothers. Go support their business if you're here and you need window cleaning here in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? But before we go, Rach, how you feel like you responded in that situation? How you feel like you responded?
I feel like there were a lot of things going. You know, the situation, the environment really affects how you respond. Because I had a lot of things going on in my head. Like if that had been in my house and there were no cameras and there were no white people around, I think it would have been a little bit different. But in my mind, first off, I was like, why did Van say that in his head? Like, I was so annoyed with you saying it because I'm like, that is so offensive. So when the homie was like, what you mean, little nigga like that? I was like, I knew.
You took his side.
I knew that I was like, I knew he was going to get offended. And then I kept thinking, how does Van not see that that's not okay to say? I just couldn't, and I thought.
So you were with them?
No, I just thought, oh, he's fucking with them. He's like doing his thing. He knows Nana. He's fucking with him. Like he knows that it's not coming off right. But then when he stood up, I mean, they sold it. Yeah. When he stood up, I was like, fuck. It's 3 against 1. The cameras are rolling. There are white people in here. I have to remain calm. No, I was like,
for the white people?
Well, I just was like,
See how I was
we were
about to
just
get
having
my
this.
shit?
We were having this
See
moment
this?
for the culture,
This is
and I
what
was
we
like,
talking
I
about.
have to remain calm. How do I diffuse the situation? What do I do if one of them hits Van? But then I kept thinking, why is everybody so quiet? And I thought, oh my God, they're scared. They're scared. They don't know what to do. Rachel, remain calm. Like I kept telling myself to remain calm. And then I finally was just like, got in front of the cameras, like, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. But if it had kept going, I would have been like, open the door.
See, but this is my thing.
I wasn't going to jump in unless you actually, if
you
you
ain't
got hit
try
up.
to. You ain't try to break it up. You ain't try to do Donnie.
3 grown men, and I'm going to stand in there. And at the point, it was just arguing. You don't get involved with, I'm not going to jump in the middle of grown men arguing. But had it gotten physical,
you know what you gotta do. You gotta step in the way, and you gotta use your divine
what
feminine.
would you have done if I would have been like, that's why I always keep a...
That's the type of shit.
That would have been so good.
Donnie,
see, y'all should have let me in on that, and I would have been like, and that's why I always, you would have been
You know what?
shook.
So you've pranked me. I've pranked you. We now gotta start doing something where we prank the guests. That's better.
Okay, all right.
Well, we prank the guests. We prank the guests on Higher Learn. You never know. You know safe. Donnie, how did you feel like Rachel's response was?
You should be proud. I think she showed up good.
How many of y'all thought I was going to call for security? Be honest.
No, I didn't think.
I didn't think you was gonna call for security. I was really trying to see. I was interested. I had no clue of what you was gonna do. No clue.
I remained calm in the situation.
You did. You ain't trying to help me, but you did not freak out either.
No,
so
I
that's
said,
a push.
I got it, but I got out of my seat. Now, if I had stood here the whole time and been like this,
yeah,
you need to talk about me.
All right, cool. Hey, Think Caps Off, do not stop learning. I'm Van Lathan Jr.
I'm Rachel and Lindsay. Bye, guys.